He wants to help get you seen farther. The show is called Page at Pollard.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff Pollard at JeffPollard11 on Instagram. We have another great episode with another great guest. Who are you? What are you about?
I'm RUBY CROAK, known as Ruby's Ink. I am a local artist and tattoo artist that was local to LA for like 10 years.
Local LA tattoo artist. Mm-hmm. Now, you said are you going somewhere?
Yeah, so we moved shortly after COVID to Florida. I opened a shop there, and then I flew back and forth for about 3 years now, or something along the lines of like 3 years, and then decided to move to Europe. So I feel like I need to close this chapter.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, quick random question: when can I visit you in Europe? No, I'm just kidding. But that's very cool. Now, how did it come to be? How did you become the tattoo artist that you are now? What inspired you? Why tattoos versus
anything else? It's actually funny. I fell into it. I was making T-shirts. I had like a little T-shirt line, and I would go around to different stores in New York City. I lived there for 13 years, and so I was a bartender that went to art school, dropped out of art school, just kept bartending, and then was like, oh, I want to do something artistic on the side. So I started making T-shirt designs and then printing my own things, and then I hand painted on the back of like vintage military jackets for years and years. And I sold them at different stores in New York. And I did that by going door to door because there was no social media, there was no websites yet. So having a website was like $15,000, and you had to know a builder, and it was like a complicated process. So we went door to door. So I would go to different shops, and I had been getting tattooed for a while. So I went to this one tattoo shop, and basically the guy was like, did you draw these? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, come back every day and I'll teach you how to tattoo. And he was a giant, very scary looking individual. So I just kind of did what I was told. Like, I didn't really want to, but I was like, I guess.
Okay.
I just got like literally told that I'm going to show up and learn how to tattoo. He's still very much my mentor, very much in my life. And that was almost 20 years ago. So I never escaped him after that.
Did you give it a shout out or a name or anything?
Oh, his name's Big Daddy Jazz. Yeah.
Thank you.
You might know him from Ink Master. He was on that season a couple of years ago. But yeah, he's a very well-known artist in the industry.
Okay,
on
very
the convention
cool.
circuit. Yeah.
I'm glad it worked. Now, I'm not that familiar with the world. Do you specialize? Is there something that, like, if people are like, I want a tattoo from Ruby, what am I looking for, or do you kind of do whatever?
I started by doing whatever, so I learned all the different like styles, and I tried different ones to see what fit. I've always been a painter, so the natural progression, once that became easier and more acceptable in the industry, I leaned into like a painted style. So I'm more known for my tattoos looking like paintings.
Like paint, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. And now you could get like people, I mean, if they want though, they could come in with images and you can do that too.
Oh yeah, that's just essentially like what any good tattoo shop person should be able to do. It's like if someone walks in the door and they have a picture, you should kind of be able to know how to do the picture, because you're just essentially, that's technique.
Okay.
And you're like a printer at that point. You start at the bottom, when you get to the top, you're finished.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to, because it's kind of sensitive in this world, but like, are you like human AI where I could show you a really good photo of my Maja or something, my mom, and you can turn it into a portrait kind of look, or look?
I mean, generally, like there's more than one way to do that, right?
Yeah.
Like if you picked a specific style you wanted it in,
okay,
then generally you would want to go to someone who does that style on a regular basis, especially if it's something as important as your mother.
Okay.
For me, it would be, if you bring me the photograph and it's a color photo, I'm going to do it in color. If you bring it in black and white, I'm going to do it in black and white. And the tattoo is made directly from the photograph.
Got it.
We may add like, flowers from her country or something surrounding it, or something to give it a little something extra, if that's the preference. But if you're just looking for, your standard portrait, you bring a really nice photo and you get a really nice portrait.
Okay. So, awesome. It sounds like you're pretty easygoing. Are there any do's or don'ts? Like, are there, I just can't do that type of, either that type of tattoo or I can't do it on that body part or something. Like, is there anything like that?
I mean, the
that
body
maybe-
part, I'll charge you a handling fee if it's somewhere weird. But in terms of do's and don'ts, I won't do anything racist or,
Okay.
things that just people find offensive in
Hateful,
general. I'm just not doing that. And then the second thing would be something that's going to later be a bad tattoo. So there are do's and don'ts in terms of techniques. And so if something is, if you bring me a design that you found on Pinterest and I say, hey, in 5 years that's going to look like mush, I'm just not going to do it because in 5 years it's still my name.
Yeah,
So-
your rep. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so there's certain things that, or like, people tend to do my friend drew this, and that's really cool that you want a tattoo from your friend's drawing, but there's a difference between drawing on paper and drawing for skin that is
Yeah.
meant to last you 20 years on skin.
Okay.
So if something's meant to be framed and put up on the wall, it can be in your bathroom for 100 years, it doesn't matter, but on skin moves, it changes. So if the tattoo's going to heal poorly or it's just not going to be legible, that's a conversation. Hey, do you know that I'm giving you the information, this tattoo's not going to look good in 5 years. If you still want it, I will give it to you, but I'm telling you this and you are going to sign something saying that I told you that.
Wow.
Yeah.
She'll actually have on the skin, Ruby did not do this.
Yeah, I did not. It's just a circle with a line through my name. No.
So, I mean, I've done so you wouldn't do like a ring tattoo then maybe? Cause
No, I do them. I just give the information. Like rings are, so with something like that, that's more of a classic tattoo.
Okay.
It's classically bad, but it's a classic tattoo. So like the thing with them is they might heal perfect.
Okay.
They might heal terrible, but it's going to be based on your skin, not my technical skill.
Okay.
So your skin could do something really weird with a ring tattoo and it blur out or not look great.
Yeah.
Or you could put it in technically perfect and it can heal technically perfect. Like
Okay.
I just tell people that information. I recommend not going all the way around and just doing the top. As you can see, I have one that's
Okay.
pretty old, needs a touch up. But yeah, I mean, finger tattoos, there's certain body parts where, it'll disappear out of the skin just based on where it's located. It'll blur.
Okay.
That's obviously the name of my business, so I don't care that it blurs. But I also have tattoos up my whole.
Can you just quickly?
Yeah, so if, generally speaking, you're not looking at the fact that A is a little blurry because you should be looking at just, I'm an overall tattooed person,
Yeah.
which is why when someone walks in and goes, hey, I want my hand tattooed and they have no other tattoos, we don't recommend it.
Got it.
Because then you're going to be sitting there going, oh, well, it fell out like right here because you're not viewing as an overall.
I think the idea is also like, you could be, your hands are porous or clammy, right? So then is that the kind of the wear that usually happens?
Yeah, you move them a lot. There's just different
You
textures
use
there.
them,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's different little nooks and crannies that don't exist in other parts that are flat surface areas where tattoos will heal better.
That's why I knew people that like would get the inside of their lip because they knew it would kind of go away after like.
Yeah, the enzymes eat it, so
Right.
it just kind of. You could stick it in there really well and it'll stay, but it's gonna look blurry and not
Yeah.
great. But you get it knowing that. There's tattoos that you get intentionally that are bad, that aren't gonna heal great. Like if you put a tattoo on the bottom of your foot, like you have to know that it's gonna look like a bottom of the foot tattoo. It's not gonna look like a tattoo that's on your chest where, it was a clean, nice surface and, you put a flat picture that's gonna look good there.
So where is the most optimal spot?
This would be number one.
Arm.
Your arm. Number one spot. That's typically everyone's first location.
Right.
The general classic rule of thumb is you go chest, body, arms, legs. You work in and then move out. Is the old school way. So like you wouldn't get your throat tattooed until you had your chest in front, body or back maybe, and then you would arms, hands, legs. Then this would be last because you've run out of room. Like you do that last and you're fully committed at that point to that lifestyle. So
Like I know that people like, cause there are like certain like nerve spots that, really spent, like I heard spine could hurt sort of to tattoo there or whatever, but there are like certain spots. So is that what you mean? Like you kind of work inward out because one, it's commitment, but then also pain tolerance?
Well, it used to be like, so it was more of like an earned your visuals. So
okay.
the body is more painful because the body has more nerves. You know, like your physical body will have more nerves. Your limbs, you know, as you go out, have less nerves. So, you know, this portion of your body and your back and stuff just hurts. So you kind of earn it.
Okay.
Before you got to be cool. You know, now people just do sleeves first, neck. I see people get face tattoos that don't have anything anywhere else, but they just want to look cool in their clothes walking around.
Okay.
You lift their shirt off and they're completely like farmer stand. You know, like
that is my tattoo.
Yeah, their tattoo is just their neck and
sun
face.
tattoo.
Yeah, they have nothing. So you know, it was like an earn your way.
Yeah.
Like, you know, before, even if you didn't have sleeves, we wouldn't tattoo your hand. We'd send you out of here. Like, we'd be like, go get some tattoo. You can get a different tattoo somewhere else.
Okay.
And they'd be like, no, I want my hand tattooed. Well, you haven't earned that. You haven't even got the rest of them. But now it's like any other business, it's commercialized, so it's a money game. If you tell him no, he's going to go down the street and get it anyway. So you might as well just do it.
Okay. No, I respect that type of hustle. She's being real right now.
Yeah.
I was like I'm always like extreme in the sense that like when I went to the Philippines, I wanted to. Have you heard of that old lady where you go to like her area, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, what have you?
She's like 104,
right? And she does like the traditional where it's like almost like a random metal raw. You know what I mean? And
it's sitting right over there. But there's one under the cabinet over there.
Like her technique?
Her
tools?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Oh, I'll have to get a video of that. Maybe I'll tie that in.
Yeah, they're just they're traditional like tapping tools. So used to be made with animal bone. They make them in different ways. Now they make them in metals, and you autoclave them like anything else, and they wrap around and you tap.
Can you do that?
No, I don't do it. Traditionally, women stretch and the men tap. But there's certain cultures where that switches. So like Polynesian, like Hawaii and stuff like that, the women stretch and the men tap.
Sorry, what does stretch mean? Like
stretch the skin.
To make it easier.
Yeah. So like when you're tattooing with a regular machine, you would stretch with one hand and tattoo with the other.
Okay.
When you're tapping, you can't stretch because you're tapping in place. Mm-hmm. So somebody stretches for you. It's traditionally done as a group of people doing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you do it that way, it's specific. I actually have a link in my bio to a video I did that talks all about that, and I'm there interviewing them during the process.
Oh, very cool.
But then there is other cultures like the Philippines where clearly women do it because she's 104 and she's been doing it for, I think she's like the oldest tattooer that's still alive, I think. So.
Yeah. Okay, last few questions. Obviously, the popular one. What are the weirdest requests you've had or things you've done? Any cool stories?
I don't do a lot of weird requests because I'm just not that cool. So like people don't ask me for weird tattoos. When I was younger, one guy asked me to put a zipper up his butt crack, and I almost beat him up. So I just like kicked him out of my shop. Like not into it.
I mean,
there's people that make a full career out of doing that. There's an artist called the Jaden Moon, and she makes a whole career that she tattoos unusual body parts. I personally am not into it. I just don't have to be, and I'm at the point in my career where I don't have to say yes to everything.
Cool.
So I just don't do weird tattoos. I do more sentimental tattoos for people. My demographic, because of the type of art I make and stuff, just skews to like, generally speaking, like a little bit older women. And they tend to just want their first tattoo at 65 or, people that are uncomfortable with certain body parts. And so they want to put a tattoo on it and they want to go to somebody they've seen do, their age demographic. So
makes sense. Okay. No, I could keep talking. This is really interesting to me. Well, okay, so then like the last question is if people wanted to get a tattoo from you, where can we find you? What's the best way to get this going?
So you could email me, highhearttattoo@gmail.com is the easiest. You can email me. I do the convention circuit, which is a series of tours around the country where tattooers go and we set up shop, and it's there's probably 150 of us in there, but I do a lot of those, so people pre-book in different cities with me.
Okay.
And then I'm full-time in Florida as of right now, and then I'm moving to Ireland, so I'll be doing the Europe convention circuit soon.
Oh man, very cool. Best of luck with all that. That's really cool. And so all the information will pop up where information's found too in the bio and everything. So thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, take care, everybody.